So my friends, a warm welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin is currently at 103,700 US dollars. Yesterday we didn't manage to get above the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level and therefore also failed to break through the 4-hour resistance. Nevertheless, yesterday we still saw a significant upward push for testing the key resistance levels and even slightly surpassing them. However, we still haven't managed to overcome this final boss on the way to or for a new all-time high. Let's take a look at what is crucial for today and which levels we definitely need to keep an eye on. Of course, we'll also take a look at the stock markets, the altcoins, and the Forex market to see how things are currently looking there. And this afternoon, there will definitely be another short altcoin update video. But before we get started, feel free to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, activate the bell so you'll always be notified when a new video comes out. And if you're interested, you're all welcome to join the free Telegram Talk and Signal group. If you're up for updates, news, and signals, feel free to join there. The link for that is down below in the video description or in the comment section. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange BingX. The link for that is also down below in the video description or in the comment section. By doing so, you support the channel, or rather, you support me, all right? Yes, Bitcoin at 103,700 US dollars. Yesterday, we were able to break through the golden pocket quite impulsively in quotation marks, unique to the upside, but then we failed again at the 0.786 level and at our 4-hour resistance. So what do I mean by 4-hour resistance? By that, I mean that we weren't able to break this high here at 104,800 US dollars, this last intermediate high, and after that, we only had wicks going above it again and again. We were also rejected here with the first 4-hour candle, tried again with the second one, failed again, and then it started moving downward for now. This is actually our last important resistance before we could really break through to the upside here and secure all the liquidity all the way toward the all-time high. If we don't manage to get back above the golden pocket in the coming days, the yellow scenario, which we already discussed yesterday, will become very, very likely. Because then we would have a textbook, and here we can really call it textbook of what double top forming at the moment. If this really comes into effect or plays out this way, then we will very likely drop very quickly towards 99 or even 98,000 US dollars. So that means this move, which I actually expected to happen a bit later, that we might come back above this top again, especially considering the good news we had yesterday. The inflation rate has dropped slightly. Sure, the core rate still went up, but less than expected. You have to see that as a bit of a positive too. Otherwise, the numbers were relatively bullish. Tomorrow, I think the retail sales figures are coming out. Those will be a bit more decisive as well. But otherwise, at the moment, it looks a bit like this yellow scenario. Unless something extremely bullish comes our way, then this wave is still in play. Shorting is still very, very difficult, and going long at this point is also tough. I would just wait until the market has settled down a bit, or until real opportunities present themselves. So again, for me, going long would probably only make sense in this area. If you're already short, you should definitely take profits at some point. Otherwise, staying on the sidelines isn't necessarily a bad idea in phases like this. But I will, I'm not sure if I'll do it today or tomorrow, make a detailed video about my overall plan. So what I think about how high we can go, since numbers like 150K and so on are being discussed again, I read that yesterday. I'll make a separate video about that. So if you're interested in that, feel free to write Bitcoin in the comments below, and then I'll make a video about what my price targets are for the next few weeks and months, targets that I think are still realistic and possible. Feel free to write below what you think about it. Yeah, other than that, there's really not much more to say about Bitcoin at the moment. So if we also take a look at the daily chart right now, we can see that we still have a big vector candle to the downside here. So ideally, we should refresh 50% of this vector candle. In the end, that would put us at around 99,000 US dollars, which would be the golden pocket. So all of this would fit very, very well with this little dump scenario. And then afterwards, heading towards a new all-time high, mainly just to flush out the whole market a bit. Let's move over to Ethereum. Ethereum is pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. That's also something where I said, yeah, I wouldn't short it. For me, the target level is almost reached, even 2,775. You might remember up here is still the inefficiency, and this whole red box goes up to 2,886 US dollars. It's possible that we go up here and if we break through, so there would still be a small short opportunity here. So I'll be completely honest with you. For me, that's more of a short just a little bit, maybe around 4 or 5%, maybe with 2 orders in there. But if this zone does break, then we'll probably see 3,300 to 3,400 very, very quickly. But to be honest, I still don't expect that to happen. This whole move that we've seen here over the last few days or within the last weeks has just been way, way too fast, way too intense, with way too much volume in it. At the peak, we've gained 56%. Moves like that are usually not sustainable, to be honest. That's why if we do come up here, for me, it's a clear short signal at this point. Solana, yes, has now also reached its box up here at 184 US dollars, or rather 185, which we talked about yesterday. Let's see if we can hold this level throughout the day as well. Here too, it might be worth considering maybe even entering a short position. The problem is over here we still have, well, a bit of a smaller sell-off. We'll have to keep an eye on that as the day goes on. Otherwise, the pivot here, or rather the 195 US dollars, would really be the next step to consider. Anything between 192 and about 195 US dollars, because the zone in between is just a bit wider, but keep an eye on it. Maybe over the course of the day, due to the RSI and perhaps a small bearish divergence with a higher high here, we might get back into the market. Let's move on to the traditional markets. Gold, yes, continues to move slowly in our direction, so there are no real strong upward impulses anymore. It looks good in terms of us possibly finally getting our long position filled here. Otherwise, things are also very, very quiet here. DAX, yeah, nothing new there either. So the position is still running here, albeit just barely. Or rather, it was almost stopped out where we got lucky. But again, there was very, very little movement over the course of yesterday. So it's very, very quiet, as if everyone's just waiting. Dow Jones was rejected. And US Tech 100 continues to move upward. NASDAQ shot all the way up, so it has continued its upward trend. Let's see how long that can keep going. So especially the tech stocks, we also have to mention Coinbase was briefly a topic in the group yesterday. Coinbase is being added to the S&P 500, which of course gives it another boost, along with Palantir and the like. All the tech stocks are currently shooting up again, even though the economic situation simply doesn't justify it. So it's very, very interesting to see. Still, the stock market here just keeps securing profits. For now, we're just going to wait and see. I won't be opening any short positions here yet. Apart from the DAX, nothing else is happening for now. The S&P 500 has now broken through the resistance to the upside up to the 0.786 level. It's tough to find good short entries right now. But as I said, I would still hold off for now. I'm still missing a bit of confirmation for that. But all right, let's just wait and see. Otherwise, last but not least, the euro against the US dollar has picked up a bit of momentum again. My target is still actually down here, more around the 1.09 euro area. Let's see if that will be reached. Otherwise, maybe if we get another pullback into this area here, into the golden pocket at $1.11, or rather €1.11. So what I'm picturing is that we drop down here again, and then maybe we could already go long. We still have the short position open with 3 take profits. Then we could possibly open a small hedge long here. Still, I don't really like this whole instant pump over here, which is why I would personally still prefer to reach the 110, or rather the 1.099 level here first, and only then open a small long position. It also has to be said, I think if we drop down there, the markets could still pump extremely for a while. And if things continue in such a way that the euro recovers and all, the money flows back out of the US, as and we've seen in recent weeks, there could also be the opportunity to catch the perfect short entry. But well, that's still a bit of a tune for the future. Let's wait and see what else happens. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for today's update video. Let's see what Bitcoin does. As I said, a short is definitely more coming into play for me now. Ethereum around 2.7, 2.8, or rather 2.8, 2.9. And otherwise, I wish you a nice, relaxing day. Take care of yourselves. We'll catch up again later for an altcoin update video. And yeah, until then, ciao, ciao. And as always, stay crypt.